Good evening, everybody. This is Late Night Crypto Talk with Bitcoin Brandon. We're going to get started in a couple of minutes. What's going on, Marwan? Karen, Calvin, Pamela. What's going on, Lewis? Late Night Crypto Talk. We're going to get started in just a second. How you doing, Cindy? Mary? What's going on, Unga Nook? How you doing, Mr. Steen? We were all newbies at one time. That's right. What's going on, Benita Nunez? How you doing, Lance? I was a newbie 1 year ago. How you doing, Erica? It's Friday night, so I won't keep you guys long tonight at all. We're going to cover a couple of things. The first to say your name right, huh? And I'm horrible with names at that. How you doing, Daniel? What's going on? Oscar from Barcelona. What is it? 3 a.m. for you? You're up late. Hope you guys had a great Friday. This is the end of your week. I hope you had a good week. Let me see what the crypto market is doing. I haven't looked at it in a couple of hours. As 8,000, let me do a refresh, yeah. $8,600 a coin right now. Happy Friday, Lashana. What's going on, Ray? Daniel? Anthony? We're going to cover a couple of good things today. One, I left you guys with a cliffhanger this morning. I told you that I was going to put to test my social experiment with using Bitcoin as conversation with the opposite sex, just to see what would happen. And I have some results. So I will share that at the end of our call tonight. It was a theory, and I proved it to work. Yeah, I like this beat too, Eric. I'm gonna, change it up every now and then. That first beat, though, that's my, that's my favorite. I can't go wrong with that one. That's a D-less one. D-less. That one, that's my favorite right there. What's going on, Michael Honeycutt? All right, let's go ahead and get started here. We're going to cover first, why have Bitcoin transaction fees fallen so sharply? And I'm not going to go into all the details, but it should be common sense, since Bitcoin itself has dropped dramatically. The fees, of course, would drop as well. It's the classic supply and demand. Let's take a look at this. It says Bitcoin transaction fees, which became astronomically expensive during the later parts of 2017, has started tumbling down to its barest minimums. Here are the reasons why. Back in 2017, when the price of Bitcoin was on its journey to the moon, transaction fees also packed its luggage and followed suit. At that time, costs for even small transactions went as high as $28. And this proved to be a pain in the nether regions of Bitcoiners. Fast forward to February 2018, and Bitcoin miners are now charging less than a third of what they collected in fees in December 2017. Now let's take a look at some key factors that's responsible for this. The pent-up demand for Bitcoin in 2017 led to massive network congestion, which in turn resulted in a bidding war over block space. As observed by Coinmetrics in early 2017, fees were at an average of 30 cents. But by December, they had peaked at over $40. $40. Went back in November, December, I never did any transactions less than, I don't know, $2,000. And my fees was like $130 something, $140 per transaction. Expensive. And when it's supposed to be the opposite. The whole point of Bitcoin is to make transactions fast and inexpensive. But because of the demand for it, it shot up sky high. Now, 2018 started on a bearish note. Oh, wait, I missed a sentence here. So fees, in early 2017, fees were at 30 cents. By December, they were $40. Medium transaction fees spiked above $30 in December, but have since fallen to around $4 in February. $4 right now. 2018 on a bearish note, with a significant decline in the number of transactions broadcast to the Bitcoin network as a result of the calmed speculative frenzy around the world's pioneer cryptocurrency. According to data from blockchain, the number of operations added to the mempool every second has reduced by roughly 50% compared to what it was back in December. So of course, with a drop of 50%, the fee is going to drop. Social media users have hinted that a significant amount of new hashing power has been added to the Bitcoin network, increasing the capacity of the system and mining frequency. Although some experts like BitGo engineer Mark Earhart have said recently on Twitter that it is not a new occurrence at all. Around 164 blocks were mined daily in January 2018 as compared to the average of 144 blocks based on the 10-minute block time frame. Apart from the increase of block space by the mining of more blocks on a daily basis, the efficiency of the Bitcoin blockchain has also improved regarding how transactions are carried out. Although some wallets and exchanges have not started using the transaction fee lowering methods, the transaction fees on the blockchain have gone back to a fraction of the dollar for regular transactions and just above $2 for prioritized transactions. All right, so I'm cool with that. You know, I'm cool with the price or the fee for each transaction being dirt cheap. Yeah, I like that. Not so much it dropping all the way down to 8,000. But again, I'm not worried about that at all. We covered that this morning. So there's that article. I want to get to, I mentioned it this morning. And I'm not going to go into detail on this, but I did want to highlight it. What's going on, Mr. Barry? Giovanni. All right, this one is Amon Card, the world's first artificial intelligence-based crypto card. Now, when I first hear that, AI, I'm like, what does that mean? What do you mean your first artificial intelligence? What does that mean? Let's see here. All right, I put the link in the chat box. Amon is revolutionizing crypto spending in daily life with their debit card. The Amon card converts your crypto to fiat in real time for everyday purchases. Yeah, okay, we know that. What is it? Oh, it looks like it's a MasterCard. See, we've been reading about Visa putting a lockdown on everything, and I said that it was Visa and Discover. If MasterCard was smart, they would do the complete opposite. They would be completely Bitcoin friendly to take up all of that business from Visa. Mr. Zaba, you say it's good morning, everyone. Where are you logging in from or listening from? It's 6:22 p.m. for me in California. All right. The company is launching a powerful multi-currency crypto wallet for the card, a built-in exchange and state-of-the-art artificial intelligence that ensures you get the best value out of your cryptos while using them to pay for stuff at retail stores or online. You pay for things with crypto, the retailers get your payment in fiat, and Amen Card takes care of everything in between. All it takes is a swipe of the card. So in layman's terms, what's happening here? Yeah, it's like BitPay card. You have a card, you deposit your crypto into your account, and when you use the card, at the point of sale or the point of transaction, it is automatically converted into the US dollar. And when that happens, the merchant is getting US dollar, not your crypto. So we've seen that with multiple cards with Visa, but now this is new AI with MasterCard. Hey, Christy, the only good news today is that it was 80 degrees for me down here in California. I know you guys had negative 6 degrees in Alaska. Oh, and I do have some good news. I completed a social experiment about how to talk to the opposite sex using Bitcoin as a topic. I did a field study. I'm going to cover that at the end. All right, so what is Amen? According to the project's white paper, Amen, the ticker is AMN, is a financial cryptocurrency platform that also offers a cryptocurrency card. By providing a full suite of financial services, the company is going to offer its users the ability to do many things on the Amen platform, from using it like a credit card or using it as an exchange for cryptocurrencies. Users will have a completely new set of benefits never seen before. Like what? I'm curious now. Imagine in times of volatility, jumping from one crypto to another without ever having to leave your Amen wallet will be as easy as a couple of taps on the app. Really? Let me save this. I think I might want to try this card. The Amen platform will have its own tokens and an ICO, of course. The Amen platform token is AMN. I think I might want to... What is this? The base price of AM tokens will be 1 Ethereum equals 20,000 AMNs? Huh. Starting March 4th. Let me write this down. We're going to look into this one. New ICO. The Amen. Huh? Ticker is AMN. 1 Ethereum equals 20,000 tokens. So this is going to be another one of those like electronians where they got billions of them out there. Huh. Put a couple $1,000s on that, and you end up having like, almost 1 million tokens. Oh, since I said anything about finances, I am not a licensed financial advisor to be dispensing financial advice. I'm just a guy that invests in the crypto space, read the news, and report my own opinions and suggestions. You take what I say and do your own research and make your own decisions. I'm not responsible for what you choose to do. All right, so what is Amen trying to solve? Amen Card is trying to solve 3 fundamental existential problems with crypto spending. Okay, what is that? 1, real-time conversion. 2, dealing with crypto volatility. And 3, boosting retail acceptance, as retailers no longer have to worry about converting crypto to fiat. Okay, let's see what types of cards do they have. The company will be also releasing 3 types of cards: silver, gold, and platinum. I want the platinum. Each of these cards will have special benefits attached to it. During the ICO, a gold card will be given as a bonus. Limits and fees will change based on the number of AMN tokens held by the user and by the type of card. The AMN tokens will grant access to exclusive benefits to the AM card users like card fees, premium customer service, masternode benefits, cash back. Okay, interesting. I'm going to keep a note on this. We're looking at March. Now, I don't know if it's going to work in South Africa. You know, this article doesn't say. It just says they've got their ICO is launching in March. And 1 Ethereum is worth 20,000 tokens. So if they're able to pull off what they say, this might be something you want to pay close attention to. All right, let's get to cryptocurrency is harder to launder than fiat currency. Now, why is that important to note? Well, every time you see a government official or a banker always bashing crypto, they always lead with criminal activity. They never actually describe what type of criminal activity, nor do they say how. They just throw that term out there and completely ignore the fact that still 99% of all criminal type money laundering is happening with fiat currency, the US dollar, not Bitcoin. So let's read this article here. Bitcoin is a tool for terrorists and money launderers. All right. Right there. First sentence. Oh, and it's my good buddy Kai Sedgwick who wrote this article. It is no secret that I don't like him. And he is a reminder that watch who you listen to. Just because somebody has a platform to be able to dispense their opinion in the source of news does not mean that they're always right or correct or even factual. That includes me. It's my own opinion. But I really don't see eye to eye with this guy. So he goes on to say, Bitcoin is a tool for terrorists and money launderers. At least that's what your elected officials believe. When Western leaders are pressed for their thoughts on cryptocurrency, that's invariably the first sound bite to leave their lips, followed occasionally by a begrudgingly acknowledgement that the underlying blockchain technology has potential. All right, I agree with you, Kai. That whole paragraph I agree with. They love the technology. They hate the coins. Why? Because the coins is decentralized. They can't control it. But they see complete value in the technology behind it. But as the case of the $400 million of NEM stolen from CoinCheck last week shows, laundering huge amounts of cryptocurrency is surprisingly hard. Laundering fiat currency, on the other hand, is extremely easy when you know how. All right, Kai, me and you, we're on the same page so far. Still don't like you, but we're on the same page. After successfully extracting over $400 million of NEM from CoinCheck's hot wallet last week, the hackers must have been ecstatic. In a single transaction, they had pulled off the biggest digital heist of all time. Those smug grins swiftly gave way to frowns, however, as the thieves pondered the best way to offload their ill-gotten gains. In the real world, there is no blockchain to monitor the movement of US dollars in real time. Laundering cash in small amounts is as easy as walking into a casino, and in larger amounts easier still if you have a cash-based business for that express purpose. But on the web, the blockchain sees and records everything, making it easy for observers to monitor the movement of stolen funds as they are dispersed. In the last few days, the NEM hackers have started moving their haul, but are encountering major difficulties in finding an exchange that will accept it. I didn't think of that. That's another benefit of the blockchain. Everything on the blockchain is public. So when somebody steals your funds, you're able to track what wallet they're going to, unless they're using like Monero. And if it's a big one, then all the exchanges can be on the lookout. And they could flag wallets that are already deemed, yeah, there's illegal funds here, when people try to offload it. That's pretty smart. Learn something new there. In the wake of the CoinCheck hack, NEM elected not to issue a hard fork to isolate the stolen cards and render them worthless. Instead, it began contacting exchanges with the wallet address the stolen currency was sitting in, seeking to have it blacklisted. Wow. With 33 exchanges accepting NEM deposits, the hackers shouldn't be short of options in theory. However, only 8 of these recorded NEM trading volume of over $1 million in the last 24 hours. Laundering the proceeds, even with the hackers are able to find an exchange that will take them, could take some time. NEM's Jeff McDonald told Reuters, the hackers are trying to spin them on multiple exchanges. We are contacting those exchanges. In an effort to avoid scrutiny, the hackers have begun breaking the coins down into 100 XEM batches, currently worth around $55 in new wallets. Dividing 500 million coins into 100 coin bundles, even if automated, is a laborious process. It's likely that some of the stolen NEM will enter circulation one way or another, but the chances are even 1% of the proceeds being laundered in such a manner seem remote. I would assume that they are going to get away with some of the money, conceded McDonald. Cryptocurrency is not the money launderer's paradise it's portrayed to be. Okay, guys, I'm arming you with some knowledge here, all right? When somebody tells you, and it's always the ignorant person that knows nothing about Bitcoin, I saw on the news that, the crypto can be hacked, the money launderers are using it. You can respond by saying, well, guess what? If money is stolen that way through a hack, the blockchain is public. You know where your money is. You know what wallet it is in. And it can be blacklisted. And it can be tracked. And the criminals be brought to justice. That's not the case with fiat money laundering. With fiat money laundering, you just have a bunch of businesses. You guys saw The Sopranos. You saw how they were laundering the money. They had to have a couple of businesses, preferably strip clubs, that deal with cash every night to move the money through and hide it. That's prevalent. Last week, it was the turn of British Minister Theresa May to break her silence on cryptocurrencies, predictably venturing that closer scrutiny was required precisely because of the way they are used, particularly by criminals. Still, every time they say this, they never back up how. When Donald Trump's Treasury Secretary gave his first comments on Bitcoin back in November, it was to echo similar statements saying, well, the first issue is to make sure people can't use Bitcoin for illicit activities. What illicit activities? Please explain. So we want to make sure that you don't have the dark web funded in Bitcoins. The dark web? Can you imagine a bunch of ISIS guys running around talking about they're getting Bitcoin? Funding everything with Bitcoin? It's not possible. So if you're a Bitcoin dealer in the United States, you have the same Know Your Customer requirements and BSA requirements. That's understandable. When political leaders assert that cryptocurrency must be regulated due to money laundering concerns, what they really mean is we're largely powerless to prevent fiat currency laundering, so we're going to focus our efforts on cryptocurrency instead. You know what, Kai Segwick? This is probably the best article you've written in months. Because we're seeing eye to eye here. Due to the nature of public blockchains and the need to cash out into fiat, cryptocurrency is easier to monitor. All the noise about anonymity and criminals hiding on the deep web is just that. In reality, laundering red-hot cryptocurrency, unless it's a privacy coin like Monero, is fiendishly tricky. A recent report tracking the circulation of funds within the Bitcoin economy from 2013 to 2016 concluded that less than 1% of Bitcoin transactions stemmed from coins of illicit origin. Less than 1%. In comparison, it is estimated that between 2 to 5% of global GDP, or 800 billion to 2 trillion US dollars, is laundered annually. Not only is cryptocurrency harder to launder at scale, but its prevalence is significantly lower than fiat currency. Just don't expect your government to tell you that. All right, I give a standing ovation for Kai for writing this article. He is spot on. Absolutely correct. It goes down to the governments and the banks and the status quo. Whenever they want to shut something down, the first thing they do is criminalize it. So every single time you see on mainstream media, you know, when crypto ventures into, you know, ABC News, Fox News, CBS, you know, when you start to see that happen, the first thing they say is criminal activity. Criminal activity, and they never back it up. They go back to something that happened on the dark web 5-6 years ago. If not longer, 6-7 years ago. Less than 1%. So you criminalize it, number one. Number two, you ban it. And number three, you co-opt, regulate, and tax it to death. Basically, you stranglehold it. And that is what's taking place right now in 2018 as the empire strikes back. The empire is on the move right now. It's reacting to Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope of 2017. You guys were making too much money. And you know what the real thing is? The wrong people are making money. That's the deal. The wrong people are making money and nobody's paying taxes on it. That's a double whammy right there. That's sure to get the government cracking down on everybody. All right, I said I was going to keep it short tonight, but I left you with a cliffhanger this morning. I put into field test my theory. Broadcast interrupted. Can you guys still hear me? Mia says I'm interrupted. Give me a like or a heart if I'm still coming through clear. Let me know. And I will continue now. Now, let's see. How long was it? Maybe a month or two ago, I read an article about the hardest thing is to have a conversation about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies to your friends and family and relatives. Like Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas, when family gets together and you're all catching up and you're talking about what's going on in your world. And you bring up Bitcoin, you always got that one uncle who thinks he knows everything, talking about, oh, that's all a scam and whatnot. And so people are gun shy to even speak about crypto publicly. It's like their little dark, dirty secret they don't want to talk about. And a lot of it is because they don't fully understand it either. And they don't want to look stupid if somebody starts asking them questions beyond the basic questions of Bitcoin and crypto. But I'm telling you that those of you that are educated in the crypto space, you have now added a social status to you. That's like having a black card. You know, when somebody flashes a black card, that means something. When you're keeping up with the Joneses, you got to have the 2017 or 2018 card because your neighbor got a 2016. Status symbol. And a new article came out talking about how to strike up conversations about Bitcoin at the bar and why. And I said, I guarantee you, those of you guys out there that's late at night, and I'm not a bar guy, but it's Friday night tonight, and I know people are out at the bars tonight and at the clubs. Yeah, I used to go clubbing though. I grew up in the 90s. So, them out there looking for, you know, late night booty or whatnot, you know how the bar scene works. And you know how the guys and the women that's in the bar is playing a dance. It's like a dance routine. It's like a choreographed rhythm. It's so loud that it's all about body language. I became a master at body language, reading body language. It speaks much louder than your actual words and what you say. And I love observing people. I was telling a friend one time I was in Vegas at an event, and I went out to get something to eat. It was about 3 a.m. But in Vegas, you know, it's like it's 9 o'clock in the evening. It was packed. And I was sitting on the patio. I was just observing, just watching people. I love doing that. And in the bar, how do you stand out from another person, another gentleman, that's trying to impress the other girls? And the article talked about, start talking about Bitcoin. Because let's look at the statistics. Right now, more than 40% of Americans have been exposed to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. My mom called me up yesterday all excited because some TV show she watches, Rachel Ray or something, had a special guest for 2.5 minutes explain Bitcoin. It was on the Rachel Ray show. So 40% of Americans are hearing about it. Less than 5% actually own it. And a smaller percentage of that actually know what it is. Yes, you have people out there that bought Bitcoin and crypto and still don't know what the heck it is. That's why in 2018, our focus is on cryptocurrency education. Got to get you educated. You got to learn a new skill set. So if you're at the bar, you know these statistics, and you strike up a conversation and you start talking about Bitcoin, I guarantee you, the woman who hears you bring up Bitcoin, you're going to have her 100% attention. And I was just going off of theory on this because it's common sense. And I broke down how that conversation could work. It can go like, you know, you talking in the bar. How you doing? You know, you had a long day at work. It's Friday night. You finished the week. What do you do for a living? Oh, you know, I'm a cryptocurrency investor. Crypto what? Oh, Bitcoin. You remember moment you say Bitcoin, watch her eyes light up. Her body language will shift completely in your direction. Legs, arm, the way she kneels, her head, tilts her head to the side, exposes her neck by moving her hair away. You know, all that good stuff. You guys know what I'm talking about. All the attention is going to be on you. Because now you're mixing alcohol in the mix. Your inhibitions have been lowered. So instead of being embarrassed to ask, she might say, yeah, I keep hearing about this Bitcoin. Can you tell me more? And you say, sure, in a quieter environment. How about at dinner tomorrow night? Some of you might say, how about breakfast tomorrow morning? I'm just saying. Now, I already did a whole Facebook Live about that. I'm not going to redo that. But I said I was going to put it into test. I wanted to do a field test to see if this is accurate. So, yesterday, I had my first appointment with the hearing doctor, meaning follow-up since I've gotten my hearing aid. Oh, and I did not think that this is a social status at all. I have been against getting this thing for almost over 1.5 years. Because I'm like, doggone it, I'm only 41 years old. I don't need no freaking stupid hearing aid. What? But now that I have it, and I forget I even have it on, but I can hear my own voice for the first time in 1.5 years, and I'm like, I'm never taking the thing off. That's worth more to me than what anybody may think of me having an hearing aid. They can all go to hell, for all I consider. But let's go back to topic. So I went for my first checkup. And I go in there, and you know how receptionists are. You know, she briefly looked at me when I would put my name down and my time of my appointment. And so she starts asking me questions, but she never looks at me. She's on her computer. You know, her entire body language is focused on her computer. To her, I'm just another customer coming in, to do my appointment, and she's just going through the routine. So she starts to schedule my follow-up appointment. And she says, so what do you prefer? You know, any day of the week? Do you need Saturday? I was like, no. Any day in the week's fine. She said, do you prefer morning or afternoon? And I said, morning. She said, any given time? I said, anything after 9 o'clock. And then she stopped. She said, I noticed, you know, your appointments have been in the morning. Do you work like late or something? Do you have a second shift? And I'm like, oh no, I don't work. And then she stopped. So I said, I don't have a job. She said, wait a second. And she's looking at she's got my report in front of her. And she's looking at the report and she says, wait a minute. You bought your hearing aid cash. You didn't do a payment plan. So I guess, you know, these things are expensive. This thing cost me over $3,200. And most people, you know, they got a 12-month or a 24-month payment option plan, you know, so that they can afford it, because most medical coverage does not cover hearing aids. It does cover, you know, going to the doctor, getting checked out, the ear, nose, and throat ENTs, but not the actual device. It can go anywhere between $3,000 to $6,000. So she's looking at my report. She says, wait a minute, you paid cash? I said, yeah. So then she actually looks at me now for the first time since I walked in. And she had this inquisitive look, and she says, so what do you do for a living? And I said, well, I work from home. It's like, oh, that's great. Oh, how lucky, blah, 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 blah. Her body language has not shifted yet. Just her lifting her head up and looking at me from the corner of her eye, still looking at the computer. Then she says, so what do you do working from home? I said, oh, I'm a investor in cryptocurrency. Like Bitcoin? I said, yeah, Bitcoin. Her entire face lit up. Now, this is what she did. Like I observed. She quickly looked around to see if anybody was listening. Her entire body language changed. She shifted in her chair. All focus was on me. She leaned forward and said, really? You're into the Bitcoin stuff? Now she's kind of whispering now, right? I said, yeah. She says, and you're making enough money to work from home? I said, yeah. Her entire demeanor completely shifted and changed. And she was all friendly, smiles. All of a sudden, she's whipping her hair, twisting one in her finger. I've got her full attention, all because I mentioned Bitcoin. Then she started to ask some questions. Like, how long have you been involved? I said, well, I bought my first Bitcoin in 2016, but I really didn't understand or know what it was. But I didn't really begin my journey until the summer of 2017. She was like, really? And you make enough money to work from home? I said, yeah, there's a whole lot of money in the crypto space, but you've got to be educated on it. You got to know what you're doing. She's like, yeah, I keep hearing about it all the time, and nobody knows what it is. Nobody understands it. And, you know, sometimes I don't have a chance to meet people who know about it, but I'm real interested in it. She was like, oh, I'd love for you to tell me more and teach me more about it. She's completely off her computer now at this point. And she stands up and she's leaning over the desk now, literally in my face. And she says, so, are you local? I mean, do you live around here? I said, yes, I do. I live 5 minutes away in Laverne. She said, really? I live in Glendora, the next city over, which is another 5 minutes away. I was like, interesting. Then she starts talking about what high school she went to and what high school did I go to. And the whole conversation, I had her entire attention. So then she looks back down at the appointment, which is not for 6 months. She's like, oh, you're not coming back for 6 months? I said, yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with the device. I like carrying it. You know, I don't have any issues. So the doctor said I don't need to come back for another 6 months. She's like, oh, I bet there's some reason we can we can convince you to come back sooner than that, right? At this point, she grabs my hand. And, well, I don't need to go any further. I put the social experiment to test. I wanted to see if it would work. And the answer is yes, it works. Not for the purpose of you going out there trying to get crypto booty. But the point I wanted to prove is that there is so much hunger for knowledge about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin that anybody that's remotely seen as knowing some information is considered an expert, because you know more than they do. It's a social status. Don't let the fact that you live off of it, that's a whole nother world. You know, had I kept, you know, I know exactly where that would have led to. I know what I'm doing. But fellas, on this Friday night, late night crypto talk, before you pull up your favorite website on the computer and you're alone and single, and you know what websites I'm talking about, go on down to the local bar, go on out to the club, strike up a conversation, and talk about Bitcoin. You will, I guarantee it, have somebody interested. That's a guarantee. Not because you're the best looking dude out there, not because you're making all the money, but because right now cryptocurrency and Bitcoin is the hottest thing in social media. Everybody's hearing about it and nobody knows what it is. And you being able to share it, articulate it, and I'm going to even help you out even some more. Because we are launching a platform very, very soon that you're going to know all the basics that you need to know about cryptocurrency. I'm going to arm you so that when you go out there and you're on the hunt for some crypto booty, you're going to be able to have a nice, intelligent conversation and not come off like the only goal you have is to get into her pants, which we know is true, but you don't need her to know that. You want to be able to spit some knowledge, education, have something to offer, show some value. And an intelligent person is far more valuable to a woman than some good-looking dude that has some money. The women can back that up as whether I'm speaking the truth or not. Because a dumb dude with money ain't gonna last long. I mean, you tell me, Lashana, am I lying? Bitcoin is the new sexy in 2018. I put it to the test. I'm going to do it again because I'm curious like this. I'm going to London in April. And so I'm there strictly for the Bitcoin conference. That's right, Angela. Teach me crypto. Ladies, since I gave advice to the fellas, ladies, it's different. The ladies can't have the same conversation with a man. Because unfortunately, if you're out and about, 90% of the dudes out there are, I don't want to break the man code by sharing this information, but let's just say they're less than subpar. And you've got to sift through to find the diamonds in the rough. And you start talking about Bitcoin and crypto, you're going to have these dudes scared to death. Because you're going to look intimidating to them. Because you know knowledge and information they don't know. And you're going to make them feel weak when they want to feel strong. So here's how you do the opposite. If you ladies are out there on the crypto booty hunt, This is how you do it. Act like you don't know that much about Bitcoin and crypto. But find a guy that knows just a little bit about it. And make him feel like he's king of crypto. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you. That's how you're going to be able to sift through the guys real quick. See, women dominate network marketing because of a natural attraction. The problem is most women don't use that natural attraction in a professional way to get what they want. I'm using my words very carefully here. I didn't say in a stanky way, like sleeping your way to the top. I said in a professional way of sifting through all of the clowns to find a diamond in the rough. You sort through them through conversation. And if you find a guy, because ladies are always looking towards the future, men are always looking towards tomorrow morning. So ladies, if you're talking to a man and he's talking crypto and Bitcoin, at least you know he's interested in an industry that is transforming the world. The greatest economic shift in wealth in the history of mankind. The world will never be the same again. Blockchain technology is interrupting every aspect of our society. And if you run into a man that's focused on that, at least you know he's going to be in the right place. I mean, think about it. Would you want to date an executive of Blockbuster or an executive of Netflix? An executive of MySpace or an executive of Facebook? An executive of Yahoo or an executive of Google? Be smart. Here's something I told my god sister when she was growing up. I told her, I said, understand one thing, and I'm going to break a man code right now. I don't care. Understand one thing. All these boys you're meeting out there, every single one of them has one ultimate goal. It's in our genes. We can't help it. We want to get in your pants. All right? Yeah, I said it. That's the goal. The difference that you have to figure out is what type of guy you want to be around. How the guy goes about doing it. From coming straight up and telling you that. One that's going to disrespect you until he gets it. One that will treat you right and with respect and wait till it's your time. I mean, it's all about the way the man operates. But the ultimate goal is the same. You choose the type of man. Ultimately. Yes, I broke the man code. I know. Giving out all our secrets and stuff. But I'm telling you, the new sexy for 2018, the new sexy is Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. You have that type of conversation. Why? And especially in a bar. Because that's a conversation that's never happened before. Those of you that are local or regular bar hoppers, you know the game. You know what conversations are standard operating procedure. But all of a sudden, something new, something fresh has hit the scene. You will get attention. So when you're out and about, like I did at the doctor yesterday, just happened to mention I'm into Bitcoin, and she was all up on me. No joke. All right, I hope that helped anybody. Next time I have a social experiment with this, I will share it because I'm fascinated by it. You guys have a wonderful Friday evening. Get ready for the next couple of weeks because we are launching something that's going to be one of the biggest things of 2018 that's going to hit the market. We got it coming. If you guys only saw the people we've already got on board with us, it's like an all-star roster. So I'm excited about it. I'm very humbled by it as well. I'm humbled to be in the position that we're in. And I'm thankful and grateful for it. All glory to God. And how many people can we help in the process at the same time? You know, you can't change the things that happen to you, but you definitely have control of how you respond to them. What are you doing right now? How are you positioning yourself for the future? With that, you guys have a great day. Depending on when I wake up tomorrow, I might go get some donuts, or I'll just do a Facebook Live from home. We'll see. But I'll see you all tomorrow. Good night, everybody. Bitcoin Brandon out. And if you're just coming on late, you can go back to the beginning and get all the good stuff. Have a good night. Bye-bye.